Years ago, in the golden belly of the African savannah, where drums whispered through the trees and ancestors walked with the wind, there was a village called Mbanta. It was a humble place of thatched roofs and dust-colored huts, where laughter often rose higher than the cries of hunger. In this village lived a man named Odeli, a farmer known not for wealth, but for wisdom that ran deeper than any well. His skin was wrinkled like old leather, and his eyes sparkled like the stars. Beside him grew his only son, Chima, a boy of quick feet and a quicker tongue, who dreamed not of seeds and soil, but of silk and silver. Each night, father and son sat beneath the ancient Baobab tree, whose branches touched the sky and whose roots whispered secrets of generations past. Odeli would tell tales of trickster spirits, talking animals, and the great sky gods. But always, he ended with the same lesson. My son, never seek shortcuts in life. The devil often comes dressed as a friend. But Chima's heart, swollen with dreams of glory, dismissed his father's words like dry leaves in the wind. One day, after being mocked by the village boys for his torn clothes and father's poverty, he was full of anger. At that point he made a promise to himself that he will do anything, even if it means eating with the devil to become rich. Years passed as he grew in age. One day he sat outside thinking. He remembered how life has treated them badly, how him and his father has been mocked. Immediately he stood up. He couldn't bear it anymore. He ran deep into the forest and shouted to the heavens, "If the gods will not bless me, then let any power that hears me come forth." The forest grew silent. Then, from the shadows emerged a tall, dark figure in robes of blood-red silk. He wore cowrie shells in his ears, and his staff hissed like a snake. "I heard your cry, child of dust," he said. "I am Nduka, the giver of gifts." Chima, heart-pounding, asked, "Can you make me rich?" The devil laughed, revealing teeth like polished bone. "Rich beyond measure. Gold, cattle, slaves, power, all yours. But in return, you must forsake your father's wisdom. You will no longer speak his name, nor follow his path. You will walk with me instead." Chima hesitated. A bird called in the distance 3 times, mournfully. But pride blinded him. "I agree," he said. Nduka handed him a calabash carved with dark runes. "Drink, and your life shall change." Not long after the encounter with the devil, Chima's world changed. His hut had become a mansion of ivory and cedar. Servants bowed before him. Gold weighed his arms down. Goats, cattle, and camels filled his father's barren field. He wore robes dyed in indigo and crimson, and a crown of leopard's teeth circled his head. Villagers wondering, "Is this not Chima, the poor farmer's son?" they asked. "He must be blessed by the gods," others whispered. Chima feasted, danced, and gave no thought to the Baobab or the stories beneath it. But as moons passed, shadows crept into his joy. His food began to rot before his eyes. The laughter of his servants turned hollow. Each night, he heard the voices, soft at first, then louder, chanting from beneath the palace floor, "Chima, Chima, you are ours." He sought out Nduka, who now appeared as a skeleton in burning robes. "I kept my end," Chima cried. "Why am I cursed?" "You took without giving," Nduka hissed. "Now, it is time to pay." "I won't give you my soul," Chima shouted. "Then take another's in your place." Terrified, Chima ran back to the old farm. But the field lay dry, the hut abandoned, and Odeli his father was gone. In the dust, carved into a gnarled piece of wood, were the words he wrote. "He who forgets his father's voice cannot find the path home." Chima fell to his knees, weeping. For the first time in many moons, he remembered the stories beneath the Baobab, the warm hand of his father, the warnings ignored. He rushed to the elders for help, but they turned away. "Your soul is marked," the chief said. "Even the ancestors cannot reach you now." That night, thunder cracked without rain. The sky turned red. Chima stood alone under the ancient Baobab tree. Its branches, once a shelter of stories and love, now loomed as accusing fingers to the heaven. Then came Nduka, no longer in clothes, no longer in flesh, only a shadow with burning eyes. Chima tried to run, but his foot sank into the earth. Roots wrapped around his ankles like shackles. He screamed, but no one came. He cried for his father, but Odla's voice would never answer again. The tree which once whispered secrets of the past, now bore silent witness, as Chima was pulled beneath the soil, swallowed by the very land he had once tried to escape. By morning only the Baobab tree remained, a small carving on it, written, "Beware of the gifts that comes too easily, for some doors, once opened, never close."